This call is now being
Global
recorded.
Talent. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez.
un preso recluido en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Talent.
Hello.
Bueno.
Bueno.
Yes, sir.
Sí, me puedo comunicar con Savi Javi.
Tienes una llamada de Javi, de Savi Javi, de Collect Call, apúchale al 2 para el Spanish. What's up, amor?
Es todo.
What's up with you?
Hey, how you been, Javi? We haven't talked in the last few days. How anything new going on in La Pinta?
Yes. They gave us back our. Well, when I got busted, when I first started doing my time, you were able to wear Levi's, and you were able to get Levi jackets for the cold, and you were able to get certain, different street clothes. We call it street clothes that people out there in the free world get to wear, and then they gave us the scrubs, and they made us look like straight fucking crazy people wearing these hospital scrubs. So I guess somehow they redid the whole thing, and they thought about it that maybe that was a bad idea for them to take the clothes, because it wasn't hurting nobody. Us having Levi's in here, we felt more human, more. We looked more like people was. That you would see somebody in the calle with regular clothes. So they gave us our Levi's back. We got our package catalogs today, and we were going through them, and I seen right there they got the different kind of Levi's on there. So everybody's hella happy for that. So yeah, that's like the highlight of the day today.
That's right.
So far, everything's so good.
I want to know who did that bad call.
Oh man, I don't know, but I think it has to do with people that are out there. People that are helping. There's a lot of people that are what's that called? People that have like non-profits that are helping people get out of prison, and they're trying to get like righteous justice for us, and they want them to start treating us more humane, so that way, because they're supposed to be rehabilitating us. So they put us in here and they have us wearing this clothes that nobody wants to wear. This clothes is like weird, like hella baggy, and so they're just ugly clothes. So you're not happy if you're not. It's like I'm pretty sure when people in the streets when they want to go out on a date or they want to go out to a club, they get in their good clothes, and it makes you feel good when you're well dressed. So by them taking the clothes when they took it from us, I mean everybody was sort of depressed because we were looking like clowns with the clothes they put on there. So yeah, I'm super happy, man. Like I already came up on a pair. Somebody managed to stash a pair for because they took them in 2006. So somebody managed to go hiding a pair for 15 years maybe around there. And so when he seen that they were selling them in a catalog, he called me. He goes, "Come here, fool!" And I went to his house. He opened his cell door and he goes, "Here, these for you, and my size too." He hooked me up with some 550 jeans. The baggy ones? Yeah, homie, so. But yeah, we're, I hope they leave it like that now. I don't take them again.
That'll be nice, but this time telling me you want some 501s.
Hey, they got them on there too, fool. Hey, you know what they got on there too, but I'm not going to do? Is the skinny jeans. I am not doing skinny jeans, homie. But they got them on there. That's crazy, huh?
I'm gonna have to look up that catalog to see what you guys are working with. What is it? Do you know who it's under? Is it under Axis or?
It's what? It's Walking Horse.
Walking Horse.
The brand new one. Yeah,
oh, okay.
They just passed them out today. It was funny because as soon as they pushed the card in, everybody rushed that card. I never do that, homie. I've always liked, I hate when it's chaos like that because everybody. I mean, there's going to be enough for everybody. Relax. I always tell everybody, chill, homie. Chill, because that's how they get mad and they leave, and we don't end up getting them. But yeah, so at the end, it ended up being short. I should have been one of the ones that rushed, right? I didn't get one, but I see one on the table. I said, oh, hell yeah. But yeah, it's that walking horse. You'll see it on there.
I'm gonna have to definitely look that up, and we're gonna have to do a review on that to check what kind of gear you guys are gonna be sporting up there in prison. Definitely interested in seeing that.
Yeah. What's up with you? You work today?
Yeah. Actually, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I gotta walk. I gotta go walk the plank today. I'm gonna be going in at work. Well, I gotta start getting ready at 2:30. You know, because it takes me about an hour to get ready, and then I gotta be out of the house like an hour before I go into my shift. Because I gotta drive across town, and then all the traffic and whatnot. Doesn't make it easy. And then I forgot it's Friday today, so I'll probably end up having to leave an hour and 10 minutes before because. Those Friday drivers, they're crazy and they might get themselves into a wreck. So that's definitely gonna, slow me down, to get to the Halle. And then, what about yourself? Do you have anything anything pending today?
Yeah, I got the domestic violence group at I think at 2:15 or 2:30 I think 2:30. So we both got to bounce at 2:30 I guess, huh?
Yeah. So I guess we'll be on for like about let me see. We'll probably do like either like 3 or 4 phone calls, and
like 3 or 4.
Yeah, that'll definitely work. And then we'll go ahead and offer. What do you think about offering some live calls towards the end? Maybe on the last call, maybe like the last 10-15 minutes, if anybody wants to tap in and ask any questions or make any comments or whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. Like the last one, huh? That's a good idea.
Yeah. I think that's what we're gonna start doing. I think in the future. I think like when you're getting into your story, we're gonna go ahead and start taking live calls towards the end, and then whenever we start freeballing it or freestyling it or shooting from the hip.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
We can offer like
I like the way.
We could go ahead and start offering.
Yeah.
We could start offering like calls and whatnot.
Right.
But like right now that you're getting into your story, we don't want to. I know we've been messing around.
We don't want to veer off course.
Yeah. We're overdoing a crazy Yeah.
It's like too much warming up, huh?
Yeah.
It's like when you go get ready to work out and you just right there swing your arms and shit. When you could go ahead and already do a push up and you just right there trying to stretch it out and shit. You're not really getting no work done, but yeah. I think I remember the last call. I was talking about how I was pushed to one of my shoot turns into a situation where I had to use violence because I had gotten threatened. That's pretty much where I ended up, huh?
I believe so. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, that sounds like right where you were at.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, and because it's very important for everyone to know, and even when I go to board and even when I talk to the counselor, anybody that I talk to about my case and my prison time and my story, even with people in here, not just even people out there or my family, I always tell them. I don't never, ever, not one time have I ever decided I want to go get into a fight or I want to go stab somebody or, no, never, homie. It's always, for some reason, it's just what I don't look for trouble. It just, for some reason, I have like that luck where it just always finds me, homie. And so now, I have to learn to just try to dodge it and try to, keep my circle real small and just not do nothing, So yeah, I never look for trouble. It's not like I in my heart don't like, and I could say that I hate violence because it feels so ugly. That is an ugly feeling, And so yeah, I was pushed into where I had no choice. This dude was threatening me, and that happened. And at the same time, when I tell this story about about violence, I don't want it to come out as a war story and that how bad I am and none of that. Never. It's kind of, I'm very ashamed if anything, I'm very ashamed that I was not, that I let somebody, because, you know, the last one was over $10, and because he was telling people that, you know, that, don't worry about it, that you don't got to pay him, he ain't going to do nothing about it, he's soft, or whatever. So he was kind of like smutting up my reputation, you know, and, you know, in prison, and you let it go one time, and I believe I sort of said that right before I hung up, right when we finished last time. If you let it happen one time, it's just never going to stop. Everywhere you go, it's just going to continue to happen. So people that are not doing prison time, that are not living in here, like I've been living in here, you know, it's easy for them to say, like the board, you know, and even the officers and the counselors and the ward and whatnot, whoever runs the prison system, they expect you to just, you know, take it. Like, you know, if somebody comes and punches you, they expect you to just let them punch you, you know, because if you punch back, you no longer, you can't even defend yourself. You're going to get written up as a mutual combat. And if you end up beating them pretty bad, so pretty much the beater, the one that gets beat real bad, gets a mutual combat, and the one that won the fight gets a battery. That's pretty much usually the outcome. So, so while you're fighting, you don't want to overdo it. If you're actually winning, if you actually look like you're putting it on them pretty hard, you kind of want to lay back, because I've seen a lot of people do that. You know, they're fighting and they're already hurting the guy, and they kind of slow down and they just kind of push him away, and it's because he doesn't want to catch that battery assault or a SPI. If you break a bone, it's automatically SPI, and that one is picked up by the district attorney, and then you're going back to court, and they could give you upwards somewhere between 3 to 9 years for battery. So it's kind of hard, you know. What do? You know, I was just talking to Silas in the day room last night. Actually, we were talking and we were talking about that, you know, because he's been single cell too. He's been single cell for like 14 years, I think, and you know, it's small ass world, because I know him. I didn't even know, but I was with him in Salinas when I was in the same building too. No, actually he was in a different building, but like he knows everybody I know, and he was there at the same exact time I was there. And we were talking about that, like sometimes when you're in a cell and you know, your cellie threatens you, what are you gonna do? You can't sleep because you already, you know, threatened you. And then if you're in the yard and somebody that you don't live with threatens you, you don't want to be in the yard watching over your back all the time. So what do? You know, especially if you already came on this side, where is there to go now? You know, you know, and it don't look right, like you going and crying to the cops all the time, because after that, you know, pretty much you're gonna be there's a certain kind of prison etiquette, man, that you gotta abide by. They're like unwritten rules that you gotta follow in prison. You know, just because you came on this side. You know, a lot of people debrief, and they got to go through a little debriefing process, and they got to give up certain things, and they got to tell on certain things. Not necessarily tell on people, but they got to give up certain things, you know. And so after coming on this side, you don't want to continue doing that, you know, because, you know, there's people that still lock it up from an S&Y yard, from a non-active yard. And every yard they go to, they keep locking it up. So you could only imagine, like, you know, wherever you see this guy, like you say, you know, someone that locks it, and you see him in another yard, and then people are going to be talking about you, like, oh, yeah, that's the guy that locked it up out of A, B, and C yards, and this prison, and this prison, and this prison. And then at the end, man, like, a lot of these dudes, they end up being kind of weird, and their last resort, their last stop is at EOP yards, where it's all the crazy people. And they're not even crazy, but they got to go through it in order to stay away from all that, because they make so many enemies, and the only place for them to go hide is EOP yards. And even in the EOP yards, they'll end up running into somebody that they know from these yards. So yeah, it's nowhere to go. So yeah, I will make sure everybody knows that you know, when I get into my story and there's violence involved, that
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
That it's an ugly thing. I hate it. I hate it big time. That's one thing. Because I love it when I'm happy. It feels so good. There's when you're laughing and everything's perfect. You don't owe nobody nothing, and nobody owes you. And that's when you're at your best in prison. You're at your that's when you say you're doing good. And right now, I could say I've been doing good. Every once in a while when I fix something and somebody don't pay me, I get.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Yeah, I feel a certain kind of way, but yeah. I think we got, like 10 seconds on this one, so should I just hang up and recall real quick?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and do that. But I want to go and let you know that we have LA Analyst that just tapped in. We also got Biddy K that tapped in, and we also got Richard that are on the chat right now. So we got 4 seconds. So if you want to go ahead and give us a call back, and then we could go ahead and get into that. All right. So I appreciate you guys, supporting the live stream. And I went ahead and mentioned that to him before the call got disconnected. I think that's huge. You guys are spending hours upon hours with us, and I think it's rightfully so to go ahead and acknowledge that and give you guys a shout out, since you're letting it be known that you are in the chat. So right now when he calls back, we'll go ahead and continue with his story, and we're not even halfway through his story. And what are this is like our 13, 12.
This call is now being recorded.
Esta es Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
Nope.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So like I was saying, so we got a few viewers in here that are dropping comments, and Biddy K put thank you, James. So definitely want to recognize the support that they're showing us over here.
Hey, for sure. Yeah. She's got a way to write them letters, man. Because what she wrote was. It made me feel good about myself, Now I could feel a little bit better about speaking, and knowing that people are listening. Because the way she said that, I keep saying that I don't know how I come across, and I do worry how I sound and all that. So, yeah, I appreciate the fact that she kind of understood that. Even though I clown around and everything, when I do get into the serious stuff, I get serious. So yeah, I appreciate her little message, man. That was cool.
Yeah, and yeah, so that email that you sent me earlier on, I went ahead and shared that with Javier. He's able to receive messages on his tablet via the GTL Getting Out app, and he received that instantly. As soon as I read it, I sent it over to him, just because knowing that if I was in that situation and somebody send a message like that to me, it'll definitely make it my experience in where I'm at a little bit better, knowing that in some way, some shape, or some way we're connecting with people. So
yes, that was excellent, by the way. It was, and you got a way of doing things, and I would have done it exactly the same way, because it's a message that was written to you, and then in that message it's telling you that she could tell you if you could tell me what she's telling you, and so it was perfect, man. I appreciate that.
That's right. And that's what it's all about, connecting the dots and connecting these, with each other, So
yeah, for sure.
All right. So and with that being said, then I want to go ahead and bring you back to your journey that you were currently speaking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And before I even do start back into what I was just saying, I want everybody to know, like everybody that's on there, like we ain't forgot you guys. Hopefully today's probably gonna be a little short one, but towards the end, for sure, we'll send you guys a little shout out, man, because we appreciate you guys listening, and that this is gonna help the cast and get it out there, for people to know more, so get a little more popularity. So going back into my storia, yeah, man, like every single time, man, like I could honestly tell you that I wish the cameras that they have now, because in prison now the COs, they wear body cameras, so now every incident is being caught on camera, right? So the only time I ever been caught on camera is when I picked up the 9 years when I was in that check for an incident that happened in the hole when they ended up going to court and I ended up catching another 9 years. The only reason that I was on camera is because all ADSEC buildings and all exercise yards is protocol. That's the way they have to have it. They got to always have cameras because they know stuff happens all the time, and so they can use it in court. So that way they know and they see everything. But when you hit certain yards, certain prisons, they don't have cameras like that. I do know that maybe New Folsom's got 3 cameras in the yard, and they only can catch so much, and there's so many blind spots. So
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
So what I'm getting at is that I wish they had some cameras, like the body cams and all that, and so that way the board could see, because they're gonna make me. They get when you go to board, they make you go through all your write-ups, and they make you explain why you did it, what led to it, and what was the outcome. So had they had the cameras, the body cameras, and all that shit, they would have seen. I've always gotten punched first. I have never one time done. You know what? Let me take that back. I did it once when I drove up to Salinas. When and I told this, I already spoke about this. When I drove up to Salinas and there was somebody that had to be on site that they had to get because there was no program, and so whoever seen a certain individual, whoever that was, and he happened to be out there, you have to put hands on him. So I was going to comedians. There he was. And so, of course, I wasn't going to let him punch me because the order, the way it was told to be done is don't approach him and ask him nothing, just go and punch him. So, yeah, and I hated doing that because that was me driving up into a brand new joint, and that's not a good way you want to start. So, yeah, other than that, I've never done that, man. Like, I never thrown the first punch all the time. It was always me defending myself. But when you go to your 115 hearing for your write-up, they're always going to find you guilty, and they're always going to give you mutual combat. And if you did it pretty bad and you hurt the guy pretty bad, they're going to give you battery or battery with serious bodily injury. So yeah, like those are the times that I just can't. I don't know. I wish the system could go about taking a kind of retroactive that send it back and at least give us the benefit of the doubt. Like, hey, look it cannot be that every single fight, Mr. YANEZ, that he got into a fight that, it was a righteous mutual combat. I could say 80% of the time was me defending myself. So, when you get hit, your reaction is to hit back. Especially me, the way I got abused as a kid, all that anger and all the violence that I experienced as a kid with my dad beating on me, on a daily, pretty much almost every single day. He used to beat me, so I guess I carried that anger into when people were hitting, after when I became old enough to defend myself and people would hit me, I had to hit back, and I didn't know no better. I felt, that maybe that's the only thing I could do. I'm not going to let nobody keep hitting me, so that's the only reason I would hit back. And I was just trying to defend myself. So, yeah, and as far as the stabbings, the same thing. The ones that I did when I was active, they were pretty much, I was being picked on because I was a lifer, and they wanted me to do, all the dirty work, like all the stabbings and all that, because the district attorney, the state was not picking up on lifers, so nobody was getting more time. But it's funny because I ended up getting 9 years, so it was all a bogus wire. It wasn't even true. They were just using lifers because they came out with that little rumor saying that the district attorney's not picking up on lifers, so we got nothing to lose. We're never going home. So look at that kind of ruin. That's the only reason. I believe that's one of the reasons why I'm still in here. Because a lot of people that are in a 15 alive, they end up doing about 23, 20 years, 25 after they pass this new youth offender program where people that were youth offenders get a little extra love on the board because they were young when they committed the crime. So I would have probably already been out, So, speaking about talking about violence to me is, I get like I kind of lose my breath a little bit. It's real heavy on me, and bringing back all the memories. It kind of gets me breathing hard, and oh man, it's just I don't like it. I don't like it. It makes me. It's hard to explain in words, but it's just an ugly feeling. And, yeah, I want everybody to know that, and like there's times I just get stuck. I don't know what else to say other than I can honestly tell you that I am not, in my heart, I can look people in the eyes and tell you I am not a violent person. I love love, man. I love being happy. I just love it when everybody, when somebody gets crazy, like for something so small, I'm always the one to diffuse. I'm always trying to even if it's not even, if they don't have nothing to do with me, it could be someone that I care for having an issue with somebody that I don't know, and I'll just get in the middle and I'll try to diffuse the situation because, it's just because it's happening to somebody that I like, it's gonna of course gonna ruin my day too. Especially if it gets bad and a homie gets hurt, I'm gonna regret not trying to do something about diffusing it. Of course, I'm not gonna, if they start fighting, I'm not gonna get in there and help them fight. No, but I'm gonna try to, be like the little mediator in the middle and try to, simmer everything down a little bit. So, yeah, I hate it, man. Like violence is it's a trip because a lot of people that are in here are really not that bad. You have to live in here to be able to say what I'm saying. I've been in here 30 years, and I could tell you, not everybody is violent like that. The court, the police, the warden, administration, they make you look so ugly on paper, but when you meet the individual, he's nothing like that. When they do psychological evaluations on you, they put stuff like antisocial, bipolar, psycho, this, crazy, and and if you're reading a paper, say you're reading a paper that telling you, look, read this paper, we're gonna introduce you to this guy, but this is who he is, and you read this whole little translation of how they feel about you on a psychological evaluation, and after reading that paper, you do not want to meet the guy because they make you sound like an animal, like a vicious lion or something. Like you just want to kill and stab and fight and cuss, And then you meet the person that they're talking about, and it doesn't match the paper, homie. It doesn't. And the reason I say that is because my last board, that's what they told me. They go, look, Mr. YANEZ, we heard that you did not want to participate in the last psychological evaluation before board, and we encourage that you always don't refuse those. They don't look good when you refuse them. And I told him why. I told him, look, man, look at. He goes, no, look, we read it, and it doesn't match the person we're talking to. So for the board to tell me that, man, I had a big smile on my face because forever I've been trying to tell them that. I would look at what they're saying about me. And they're like, man, you're nothing like this. So we want you to go back and take that psychological evaluation again, and I bet you'll get a low risk, because that's how they assess your risk, man, of committing violence again and recommitting and coming back into prison. So when you got a high risk, you're never gonna get out. Right now, I've been having every time I go to board, I got high risk, and it's crazy because everything they know about me, I told them, but then they turn around and use it against you.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Yeah, and that's a cool thing. Like, you go in there and they ask you, have you ever used drugs? I could have said no. I never got caught using drugs. I could have said no. Have you ever, you ever did certain things? How many sex partners you had? And if I wanted to sound like a little perfect angel, I could have said, oh, only 3. I was 20 years old, so I didn't have. I told the truth. I had a lot. When my mom and dad, they were strict. They didn't let me go out. And once I started sneaking out my house and going out of the clubs at night, and the first time I had sex and all that, I liked it. So, when you're a youngster, you're out of control and you're out there trying to get it all the time. You're trying to knock your socks off all the time, So, and I was brutally honest about it, and for me being 20 at the time when I got busted, I had already had like 42 sex partners. I was I was bad, and that was because of how strict my parents were, I'm pretty sure my mom would allow me to go out with my girlfriend and on the weekends and start tripping so much about us getting the girl pregnant and all that. And they were on us so much that we always, when your parents are so hard on you like that, you turn out bad because you rebel. You get, and you just sneak out the house and, that's why it's just, I love my mom big time and everything, but like, she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it no bad. She was trying to be a good parent, but that was not good parenting. She should have gave us a little action and let us out like on the weekends with a girl. Same thing with my dad. So, yeah, man, that's it. So when I go to board, man, and I tell them like that. I tell them like, yeah, everything that you guys know about me, like.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Like I told them, like I was never a drug addict in the streets, but I tried it many things. I tried it at a club one time. I tried it, and I never liked it. Every single time I did anything with drugs, every experience with drugs, it always gave me a negative and ugly outcome. So I never liked it. But I could have lied. I could have said, I never did drugs. Were you ever in a gang? Because I'm a self, and I admitted being in. They never arrested me and gave me gang injunctions and enhancements. Because they never even knew. And I told them that. Yes, when I was a kid, I got jumped. So when they do this evaluation and you go to board, they turn around and they use it against you. Oh, he was a gang member. Oh, he used drugs. Oh, he used to go to the clubs. He had a different sex partner every weekend. Oh, look at how bad he was. So they make you look so ugly, And I'm
3 seconds,
like
2,
like
1.
that, so.
All right. So I think this call coming up after this call is gonna be our last one. I'm starting to get hungry. I haven't ate anything this morning yet. So it's not even morning. It's already at 1:52. And the reason I'm saying it's morning because unfortunately I got off of work really late, and by the time I took it down, it was already like 4 a.m. So, and then I woke up kind of early. I did have a pending phone call at 9, so I think I got up like at about 8:30, and I've been at it, with these phone calls. So so this is after this one, it'll be the last one. I'll go ahead and put up the number if anybody wants to call in and tap in and ask any questions, make any comments or whatnot.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello, Javier.
Nope. Yes, sir.
All right.
Here.
So I just want to go ahead and mention to you, so this will be our last call for the day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put up the phone number just in case anybody wants to call in. And if they do, then they could go to ask any questions they desire. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and hand over the mic to you, and so you could go ahead and continue with your journey.
Okay. Yeah, and man, you know what? Man, I lost that 15 minutes were probably my fastest ones. To be honest with you, like, wow, man, it's crazy because I thought I was like 5 minutes into the new call, and then when you started doing the countdown, you didn't hear me, but when you said 2 and I didn't even hear the 1, I was cracking up and I was in disbelief. I was like, wow, I probably made this shit too long. So when I get embarrassed and I feel like I felt a little dumb, to tell you the truth. I was like, man, I kind of probably made this little topic a little too long, because that was long. That's coming in from the last call, so it was almost 15, 20, almost 30 minutes of this whole thing, like where I'm talking about, just because the violence thing is like really, really what they really look at, man. And man, I could look them in the eyes. I could tell them, man, I did not like that, you know. And I'm so happy we got these cameras because now they get to see that, you know. But yeah, and so that's what they want, you know. And I don't blame them. They don't want to let out somebody that's real violent in the streets, and you know, it's ugly, and it looks bad on them, and they can lose their jobs and get pay cuts and all this shit. So yeah, so I thought I had to, you know, really, really, you know, point it out a little bit that I'm not, you know.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Now that I'm older, you know, I don't think I could remember when I was a kid and I seen a violent 50, 60-year-old man, you know. You know, violence is I think it's part of a phase in your life, man, and I believe it starts somewhere in maybe 13 years old into maybe to like 28, 30. As far as like, you know, getting into like little fights and arguments, you know, whether if it's with your parents, your mom, your friend, your cousin, your sister, or whoever, you know. And so those are like little it's like a little puppy dog, man, like a little dog when he's trying to be a little badass dog, you know, and he's walking and barking, he's looking for little fights out there, little stray dogs that are constantly fighting with each other. And once they get real old and you know, they kind of simmer down, they're like, oh, man, that's not worth fighting. They just, you know, they're so relaxed, so chill, you know, and that's, you know, I could say that's how I am now, you know. I just like, I like to be happy, dog. I like to chill, man. I like to, you know, I'll stay busy all day. I'll draw, I'll fix radios, fix whatever, you know. I'll stay busy, and that's the secret. You're staying busy and finding something that's going to, you know, keep you happy and it's going to, you know, it's just make your time go by. And my time flies, I could tell you. I don't feel like I've been down 30 years at all. Not even, and I don't even feel 50. I feel like I'm like about maybe like 20, like about 26, 27 years old, you know? I mean, I work out so damn much because of that. Like, I want to be able to hang. I want to be able to, if I get out, you know, this coming up year or the next year, next sport date, I get a date. I want to be able to go out there, you know, and still work and still run and still, you know, play with my nephews and my nieces and maybe play little baseball games and all that. So that's why I stay real active. So, yeah, man, yeah, so that last one, I ended up the last shoot term I ended up getting for that one stabbing right there in Seayard in Kern Valley. I ended up going to the shoot and I got clowned, man. I got clowned big time. The cops used to call me the wheelchair bandit, this and that. And it was like
a wheelchair bandit.
Because I stabbed that dude in a wheelchair, you know, but there was nothing wrong with the dude. He used to be my celly. He was manipulating the system to get morphine, and he was selling them, and I hated that he was doing that. You know what? I've always hated people that abuse the love that we get because, you know, that morphine medication is for somebody that really needs it, somebody that's really in pain. So they don't realize how much they ruin it for somebody that's really hurt, and he's out there screaming, and he fell and he broke his back or whatever, and the cops don't want to give you shit because everybody's fucking trying to fake a pain and all that just to get on a damn morphine or methadone or whatever medication, you know, and so they ruin it. So it's a domino effect. They don't realize how. So I used to hate people doing that. Like, why are you guys all for the hustle because so they could get the pill and sell it for like $10-20, but they don't want to learn how to draw or fix a radio and have a real job like in the streets. Real job. There's real jobs in here like fixing radios, drawing, making picture frames, sewing, ironing, anything, you know. But they feel they degrade them. Like a lot of dudes don't want to sew. They feel that's kind of bitchy. That's for a female. They don't want to iron. They're like, they feel they're being degraded. But there's nothing wrong with that, man. I respect the person that hustles and makes honest money, you know, and that's what I get. I hustle. I mean, there's days, I mean, yesterday I fixed like 4 fans, 3 CD players, 4 headphones, and some hair trimmers. Man, I was so proud of myself. I went out there and collect my little chips, my suits, and, you know, a little deodorant and body wash, and I felt so good earning that. There's a feeling they're missing out on. So, yeah, and but yeah, man, like that dude, that one time when that happened, that dude got up. So as soon as I stabbed him the first time, he got up, and he had little knee braces, and the whole yard was laughing because they never seen him get up. They thought he was righteously hurt, paralyzed, and there was nothing wrong with him. So I was so glad he did that because I would have never heard the end of it, especially when you go to board, you know, hey, man, what's up, man? You're paralyzed. You're stabbed a paralyzed dude or whatever, you know, and there was nothing wrong with him. You know, and the cops were so happy themselves because they knew it. You know, I had a few officers come and tell me, hey, I'm glad you did that, Mr. YANEZ. That dude was such a piece of shit. He was a child molester. I was like, what? I didn't even know he was a child molester. He was Marcelli. I didn't do a paper check on him because I mean, nobody ever said nothing about him, so I trusted his word, the honor system. And, and then they told me that he used to do so many 602s, and he was always trying to get over on the system, that there was nothing wrong with him, that he knew he was getting morphine. They took him to the hospital like 8 times. He claimed there's a back pain, that there's something wrong with him that they can't detect. Took it to court. The court gave him his way, and now he's got his morphine for life, but they know he don't need it. And so when they seen that fool get stabbed, he got jumped off his wheelchair, and he started sparring with me like a boxer, like a righteous boxer. They said, there's nothing wrong with that dude, you know. So, yeah, but I still got clowned, you know. I ended up doing like 3 years in the shoe, and I got clowned throughout the whole 3 years. But I knew it was more like a cariño thing, like, you know, just to make fun of the whole situation. But I hate having to explain myself. Like, man, that dude, there was nothing wrong with him, man. He was a regular. Actually, he could do more burpees than me, you know. But yeah, so I ended up doing 3 years on that one.
Hey, Javier.
What's messed up is after I was done. Yeah.
Hey, so this video, I'm gonna name it attacking or the wheelchair bandit.
The wheelchair bandito.
He's a bad hombre.
Oh my God, bro. Hey, bro, like there's a story up for that one, and when we come back, you're going to trip out how I ended up getting caught because nobody even knew who did it. Like when they went down, like the yard went down and the yard had just opened, and all I know is that they filled up that yard with a bunch of gooners, man, because they had never been a stabbing in that yard yet because it was a brand new yard, and there was a bunch of programmers. I was a programming person until he threatened me, you know. And that was the last thing he wanted to do. Like, I have never threatened nobody. That's one thing you don't never want to do. You know, you don't want to threaten nobody. If you're going to do something, go do it to him. You know, don't threaten him because, you know, it's going to be all bad. So, yeah, and so, yeah, man, it was like, yeah, the way I ended up getting caught, I thought I got away with it. But, you know, in a way it's good. Like, all right, you know what? I got caught, and I fessed up when when they threw me in a holding tank. I could have lied. I could have said, man, because they had no cameras. Remember, I just said they didn't have no cameras. I could have said, man, I didn't do it. And I could have just kept saying, I didn't do it, and just denied it all the way, you know. But I ended up, every time I did something in all my single write-ups that I have, I'll say I'm guilty. And so all my 115s, every time I've gone to my write-ups and my hearings, every time I've been guilty for something, I go and I plead guilty. I don't give them the runaround. I don't appeal it. I don't deny it. You know, every time I messed up in prison, I've always manned up and I've always took responsibility. You know? But you know, like certain ones that where I was just defending myself, I would tell them. I go, man, it's fucked up, man. Like, you know, if some of you guys seen it, you know, certain officers would tell me, yeah, I seen him punch your foot. They would tell me, you want me to go in as your witness? I'm like, no. Because if you use an officer to come be your witness at a hearing and saying that he punched first, that's like me dry snitching. Like now I use the cop to snitch on a homie that he punched me first. So you can't go in there and tell him, well, he punched me first, so, you know, that's why I punched back. So that goes on paperwork. So now you got it on paperwork that you told on the dude that you got in a fight with. And you don't want to be like that. Even though you're on this side, you just do not want to be like that. Because that's how, you know, people talk about you, and then, you know, they single you out, and then you become like a, you know, just somebody that everybody just avoids and nobody wants to talk to you, and that's just what prison does, you know, like it's the same thing with the child molesters, the rapists, and all them dudes. Like, nobody wants to talk to them dudes, you know. There's a dude that killed his daughter like 7 cells on the bottom tier from me, and every time I see him, he walks around with his chest all pumped up like he's hard ass and shit. And like nobody even talks to him, you know. Like, doesn't he see that all the little fake persona, the little phony walk that he's got? It's not gonna do nothing, you know. Like, just humble yourself and maybe just stay in your house, you know, because you just make it. As soon as he walks out the house, people get uncomfortable. Because, of course, why would why would anybody want to hurt his defenseless little girl? That was his own daughter. He killed his own daughter. And he's walking around England like he's a fucking badass motherfucker, you know, and he's a piece of shit to me. You know, those are the only things that I can't stand being on this side. You know, being around dudes that are like serial killers and serial rapists and certain kids that are child molesting and people that have these ugly that deserve. I think those producers deserve to be in prison for the rest of their lives, not the ones that, you know, that were young, committed little, you know, they were selling drugs and, you know, one drug dealer killed another drug dealer. A lot of times they don't know the truth. They don't know the story. You know, the dude could have pointed the gun at you and you got scared and you beat him to the punch. So I believe everybody should get a second chance in life, you know. So that's what I always ask for when I go out there, man. Like, man, I just asking, like, you know, I'm a grown man now. You know, I'm done with this, man. Like, you know, there's times when I'm down, homie. Like, I believe I told you this on a private call. Yesterday I had one of them ugly days when I was down. And I went to the gym and I worked out for 4 hours and I was really trying to hurt myself with the workout. You know, I'm trying to get it out because it's good for you. You can't, there's no other way to vent. I don't have a celly, you know, I don't have no, you know, the only conversation I've been doing this whole month is with talking to you guys. So it's been helping me vent, you know, because at the same time I get to vent, you know, and there's a lot of people listening. So, and that's what I always say. I worry about how I come across. I don't want to sound like you know, desperate or like I have animosity. No, I have no hatred towards nobody, and I accept responsibility for all I've done. And I just, you know, I'm still a work in progress, man. So,
hey, Javier.
How much time you got left?
We got about a little bit under 2 minutes. So I do have a question for you here from one of our listeners here from Too Valid 123, and he puts, "What up, Javi and James? Hey, I remember Javi saying that there was an episode of America's Most Wanted where the crew he ran with was on. Can you ask him?" So would you happen to know the name of the episode on America's Most Wanted? I guess.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
It looks like there's some interest in looking it up.
Yeah, you know what? I will look into that for sure. I believe it was under one of my homies' last name. And being, you know what? I don't mind. Yeah, I'll look into it. I know it had the reason I hate to say it is because the name of it was, you know, America's Most Wanted, they like to exaggerate, and they put such an ugly name to it, you know. They put a certain individual's last name, and they put his last name, and then
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
So they used the homie's last name, and they put, let's say they put John Doe's ring assassin with the Tijuana cartel, you know, and they sound so ugly, and it's nothing like that, you know, because I was running with these dudes, and that goes back to telling you how ugly they make you look on paper and even on TV, just to get people to watch and get them all interested on it, you know. But yeah, for sure, I'll look it up. I had one of these officers look it up one time, and he came back and told me, hey, I don't find it. Maybe it's a double R, you know. Because I don't know exactly how his last name is spelled. But, yeah, it's under his name. It's not under my name. But, yeah, that's where it comes. It talks about all of us and everything that was happening in the 90s.
Hey, Javier.
With a couple of lowrider,
So it's about to cut off. Just call me back right now, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up. You know, we'll go ahead and give our shout-outs to everybody that's listening, and I'll go ahead and send you over the... All right, so I'm going to send them over, like, all these messages that you're posting up here, Richard. I'm going to go ahead and send them to him via the Gets Out app. I really appreciate you know, you dropping all this information or comments or you know, just participating in the chat. Really appreciate it. Oh, and we got it. ICEMAN just tapping in. Really appreciate he woke up from a cat nap. Man, I wish I could take one of those right now. I got to go jump in the shower, get ready, and be at the door in the next hour or so. So we're waiting for Javier to call back right now, and then we'll go ahead and cut the stream. You know, wouldn't want to cut the stream without him, you know, giving out his shout outs and whatnot. So, and hopefully he could get us that information for that America's Most Wanted episode that his friends were featured on, her homies. And if he's able to locate that, then I'll go ahead and post a link to it.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yañez.
Un preso recluido en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello, Javier.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read up some of the comments, before we cut the chat here. So we have Aquatic Amigo that just dropped in, listening while working. Good afternoon to all. And then we also have LA Analyst, Javier. You've come a long way. Keep it up. And then we also have El ICEMAN typing in. He's just woke up from a cat nap. He's in his house.
That's right, Ice, man. He's resting. That's good for you, man. I said mine to all the listeners.
That's right. And then I'm also gonna be taking screenshots of all these chat messages and whatnot, and I'll go ahead and put them together in a collage for you, so that you could go ahead and review all the questions or comments that our listeners are providing right here in the chat. I know you do. You appreciate those small gestures. So
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, for sure. Also, what I'll do, like on a regular, I'll text you the name. Cause you know what, I wanna take how can I say, right now that we're talking about this, on the very beginning when one of the listeners called and asked me, hey, what little group were you working for, and I was so I was so stuck. I did not want to say nothing, but because there were majority of, they're all dead now, so I kind of, I risked it and I did say it, but I wanna say that, I there's nothing that I'm proud of, and it's something that it just was a very ugly time in my life, and I don't really like getting into those that kind of like talk where what group and because that kind of sounds like a war story, and I try not to do those. I just try to stick to like my little story, and on the as far as the homie one, and know the America's Most Wanted one, all he got to do is look up on 1992 and 1993 all the incidents right there in San Diego. And he'll get it. He'll find it. So anywhere between 1993, 92, 93, no wait, 91, 92, 93, probably up to the end of 94. And it kept coming out because they were looking for all of us. So, and it was under one of the names, and I'll text it to you later on. And if you want to pass it on to him, that's cool. I'd just rather not throw it out there. But if you don't mind texting it to him maybe later if you get a chance, would you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll look it up, and then if I am able to locate it, then I'll go ahead and post it up. I'll link it up to the stream, so like that they could take a look at it and check out that video. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure America's Most Wanted or AMW did put a 10 on the 2, so put a lot of sauce.
And they always do, homie.
Put a lot of sauce on the taco.
Hey, they had a Puerto Rican playing me, and I'm not even Puerto Rican, homie, so that tells you everything.
Ahora.
Ay, tu papi, este papi es de Guadalajara, Jalisco, and they have me speaking Puerto Rican, but yeah, I love Puerto Ricans, but that's how messed up the story, they never have the truth. So they like to fucking, get whatever information they get from newspapers and whatnot, and people that hear about it and rumors and all that, and then they come up with this. All they know is that you're wanted for a murder, and then how they put the story together, they do it. And a lot of the things that they like what they found and all that, yeah, that is true because it's on a police report. So they get the police report, they get the newspapers, they put that together, they talk to certain homicide teams, the cops and FBI and all that, and they get the permission to say certain things, boom, and then they post it up on, and they, and that's how they were doing the shows. That's why I believe that's why it was discontinued, man. They were pretty much they weren't getting it right. I mean, they were just making people sound so ugly under, But yeah, we'll post it up later, But yeah, man, you're gonna have a long day today, huh, James?
Man,
what time you get off? Like,
man,
you'll be working all night?
I won't be getting home till like about 4 a.m. So I'm gonna be gone, for quite a while. Yeah. So.
Damn, you got some crazy hours, homie, for work.
Yeah, I'm like a zombie right now. Yeah.
Wow,
So.
wow. Yeah, I know the feeling, homie. I know the feeling. It happens to me all the time in here because I have, the only thing I got to make sure I make is school in the morning, right? And then I got my groups, and they all fall on different days. So I got 3 groups. I go to one called CGA, one domestic violence, and one called life skills. So sometimes they don't run it. Like, in order for us to go to group, the chaplain has to drive up. He has to be here so he can open the chapel, because that's where we go. So yeah, there's times when I have such a long day, and I never forget my workout. Like I said, I am never gonna, even if I'm super tired and sleepy, I force myself to work out because, like I said earlier, like, I want to be alive when I get out. I want to have energy. I want to be healthy, dog. Like, I don't want to look sloppy and saggy, and, because I'm getting old, and when you get old, everything, gravity takes you down, So, if I do get out, I want to live a good, 20, 30 years. I remember the board telling me, Mr. YANEZ, you can still get out. We're trying to get you out. We're not trying to keep you in here, and you can still live a good 40 years. So they're telling me I'm going to live to like 90, you know what I'm saying? So they kind of pump me up. So I'll be working out a lot, dog. So, yeah. There's days when I'm so fucking burnt out, dog. Like, today I woke up again at 2:30 in the morning because I fell asleep yesterday, and like, there's days when I'm in the house and I'm so tired, and I don't care. I'm just not going to go to the day room. I'll put a movie, and I'll just go in and out. I just lounge. I chill, And it's good. It's good that we get that rest. If not, you're gonna be feeling like you.
Yeah,
like a zombie.
Hey,
But yeah.
And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it just because I got like 10 minutes to eat before I gotta go shower and stuff. And hopefully, I'm surprised my wife hasn't come to knock on the door talking about my food's gonna get cold. So, you're like, hey.
No, go do your thing, my boy. And I send a shout out to everybody, man, all the listeners, ICEMAN, El Angel, Richard, who are
LA Analyst.
Kid. I'm trying to remember. Who are, La Marlena, don't forget Marlena, La Biddy K, the homie, what's his name? The homie Richard. Oh, yeah, I already said Richard. Oh, man.
We got two valid, 1, 2, 3.
El estilo.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Órale, el Estilo Chronicles.
Yeah.
Manny C, el lado. Whatever happened to LoasofBotox? Remember there was one LoasofBotox? I don't know.
A lot of Botox. Yeah. And they were actually tuning in too from the UK also. I haven't seen them. So maybe they're on a vacation or something. Maybe went on holiday or something.
Yeah, but I just want them to know, man, I appreciate them listening, man, because that's actually helping me grow. It's part of my recovery and my little journey. Every time I finish, I feel so good. I chill. I put a movie through. I unroll my bunk. Like today, I gotta go group, so I can't unroll my bunk. I still got my bunk rolled up, and I come back for sure. I'm gonna put a movie and just chill, go to sleep, take a nap, or go to sleep. But yeah, I always feel good. I feel like there's weight coming off my shoulders, So yeah,
that's right.
I send out to everybody.
Thank you. And then
with
that being said, hey,
Abuelita de Batman's calling.
And then with that being said, hey, life's like a candle. Once you blow it, it lights out. And always remember, the knowledge you get isn't always the knowledge you should believe. So, think about that. When people are providing you knowledge, it's not always in your best interest, to take somebody for their word. Make those connections yourself and do some research before you start investing in a lot of these things that people put out, and navigate you down the wrong way. And with that,
Oh, hey, I got a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, before we go, I got a good one.
Yeah.
The devil you know is better than the devil you don't know.
There it is.
I went on TV. I watched the well, I'm sassy.
I think I saw that documentary.
I watched the movie. Yeah. But yeah, man, hey, homeboy, you be safe out there, dog, and keep your head on that swivel, people are crazy out there, dog, and people are taking it to heart. La guerra, the war, and you know what? My prayers to all the people out there that are going through that war. It's ugly, man, but people are taking it serious. People are taking it personal in here, and there's just a bunch of crazy groups.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
So everybody just keep your eyes out open, man, and stay safe, man. But be vigilant, because people are crazy nowadays. But yeah, homeboy, I'm gonna let you go so you can eat, and I send mine to everybody, and stay safe, homie.
All right, gracias. We'll be in touch.
All right, homeboy.
All
Hey,
right.
you have a good one, homeboy.
You
All
too.
right, bye.
All right, bye. All right, and with that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream. Thank you, for tuning in, and I'm gonna go ahead and send